What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex, you watching the Ragin Nation Show Transformers 4 Edition. This is just a web series where we talk about all things that matter to me for a production of the 4th installment of the live-action Transformers film franchise directed by Michael Bay. This is update number 101, and this is actually part 10, the final chapter in the New York Toy Fair 2014 coverage exclusively at the Ragin Nation. Now, we've talked about a lot of stuff about the toys, and I decided that in the final chapter in this video series, I'm going to tell you my thoughts and feelings about the toys, and of course, am or am I not going to get them? Well, the main highlight of New York Toy Fair was the Dinobots, and everybody had a lot of things to say about the Dinobots, especially this is the first time that we're seeing Dinobots in a live-action film. So the big question is, how are they going to look like, not only as characters in the movie, but toys? Well, I got a lot to say about that. Well, I just have a few things to say, but let's just say that a lot of people are wondering what's up with the rainbow colors. They look like Predacons, and that is the thing that a lot of people are saying. The rainbow colors. What is up with that? And I'm pretty sure that in the movie, they're going to stick to one or two colors, but definitely like a gray, metallic, some kind of color that is very mechanical, alright? But not rainbow colors. But the toys have to be rainbow colors, and there's a reason why, okay? When I say rainbow, I don't mean that they're totally rainbow-like My Little Pony. I just mean that they're gonna be green, they're gonna be red, they're gonna be blue, they're gonna have like dominant colors, alright? And the main reason why, that as a toy, they need to be able to market them well. They need to make them more marketable by making them distinguishable. Now, a lot of kids are going to be watching Transformers Age of Extinction. That means a lot of kids are going to be buying the toys. Well, who's paying for these toys? The parents. And when the kid says, hey mom, dad, can you buy this one for me? And this one, Scorn, Slash, and Strafe, and Slug, can you buy them for me? Imagine if they were all gray, or if they were all like silver or chrome, right? Then the parents are going to be like, hey, they all look the same, just buy one. Well, Hasbro doesn't see it that way. They need to look like Predacons, meaning that they're all different multi-colors. Now, it worked as a Predacon in the cartoons, because in a cartoon you can have them all different types of colors and it would work. They would be the screen accurate colors, and that would totally work. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way in a movie. If it looks like that in a movie, people will be thinking, what is up with the crazy colors? So that's why they gotta make them rainbow colors. Now, so that answers one of the questions. Another comment that I have to make about the Dinobots is actually a response to people commenting about the Dinobots sizes and the fact that they're not in scale. In the movie, most likely the Dinobots won't be in scale of each other. In the toys, they won't be in scale with each other. We all know that a Velociraptor is actually a very small dinosaur. And what's up with Grimlock being the size of Devastator? Well, let me comment on that. First of all, I'll tell you that the Dinobots are not sizes based off of dinosaurs. They are the theme of Dinobots is mechanical dinosaurs, okay? Robot dinosaurs. But that doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be the same size as the actual dinosaurs. Imagine if Sludge, the Brontosaurus, were actually in Transformers Age of Extinction. He'd be the biggest Dinobot of them all. And that wouldn't work because, well, Grimlock should be the biggest Dinobot of them all. He's the leader. So that's why they're changing things up. And that is also why that the dinosaurs, or rather Dinobots, are not in scale with each other. Alright? Think about it. When G1 came out, nobody complained about the scale or size of the Dinobots. They were never in scale with each other. As long as they were robots and dinosaurs, that's all that mattered. And it's no different with the movie, so I don't know why people are complaining. Alright? Anyways, another thing that I want to mention is that do you notice that this line of toys, like the deluxe, the main line of toys, is actually kept very, very minimal? I mean, they kept with the core characters of the film. One thing you don't notice is that unlike Transformers, the main line for Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers Dark of the Moon, they don't have characters that didn't appear in the movie. They also did not bring in characters that are from the previous films. Remember in Transformers Dark of the Moon, that line, they also brought in characters that didn't actually appear in the movie. Now in Transformers Age of Extinction, they're changing all of that, and so far we've only seen characters that we know for sure are in the movie. And that means that there are fewer toys, and the wave consists of fewer character toys. So that is very interesting for me that they decided to do that. Now what's also very interesting is that there's more of these kitty toys. Now I'm deciding, now I'm starting to see the math, okay, and the equation, and that is the reason why they don't include all these other characters from the previous films, just like they did in the other previous mainline movie toys, is because of two things, and that is they don't want to rehash characters that won't sell, and because people have already bought them. And another thing is that the Hasbro has a budget. They've already put a part of their budget in the kids' toys. You know, like the smash and change and the flip changers or the one-step changers. They've already put a portion of their budget in those kiddie toys. This is a whole new line, an additional line to the Age of Extinction toys, all right? And therefore, they don't have that kind of budget or spending power to create these, or rather rehash or repaint old molds from before. And therefore, they're sticking with the main guys. And that's actually a good thing, alright? I have no complaint about that because I really don't care for characters and toys that didn't exist in the movie. So I'm glad they're having all completely new molds, all completely new toys, and all completely new characters. That's definitely a good thing, alright? So, a lot of people are thinking, wow, there's so few toys. Well, we haven't seen the rest of the waves yet. I mean, we've been shown Wave 1, Wave 2, we haven't seen Wave 3. Because what's missing is Stinger and Lockdown. What's up with the two other Decepticons? We've seen Galvatron, we haven't seen Stinger or Lockdown as a mainline toy. Now, it is possible that we might not get a toy, and if we don't get a toy in the mainline, that's really quite disappointing, because Stinger has a very unique alt mode, and that is the Pagani Huayra. Now, we've seen him as a one-step changer, but as a kid's toy, you can alternate the alt mode because, you know, like a small kid won't really care if it's accurate to the actual real car, Pagani Huayra. Same thing with the Lamborghini. It's been modified so that it's less, like truly, physically accurate to the actual toy. Now, once you get to the mainline toys, then there needs to be some sort of accuracy to the actual toy. Now, one thing that happened in Transformers Dark of the Moon is that they couldn't get the merchandising toy license for Dino, which would be the Ferrari, and because of that, we only ended up getting those Hot Wheels type of die-cast cars. I think they're called the you know, I forgot what they called, but you know what I'm saying, right? It's those small cars that's kind of like a Hot Wheels. We only got that for Dino, which is pretty unfortunate, right? Because I wouldn't have minded to get a you know, the actual toy itself, like a deluxe. Well, there's no word on whether we're getting Stinger or Lockdown as a deluxe or as a Voyager class. Hopefully, it'll come. All right. So that's what's going on with that. Now, another thing that I noticed is that there's no Human Alliance line. I really like the Human Alliance line. The Human Alliance Barricade is one of the better toys of the first film. All right, that's such a great toy, the Human Alliance Barricade. It was actually on the secondary market on eBay for a lot of money, for $100 or something like that, but at least 80. All right, I don't have one yet, but I'll tell you that one of the greatest toys, one of my favorite all-time movie toys, is the Human Alliance Jazz. That is a fantastic toy. We're not getting a Human Alliance line. As far as I know, we're not getting a Human Alliance line for Transformers Age of Extinction. Now, as long as they can put out good toys for the mainline, Deluxe, Leader Class, and Voyager, then I'm fine, alright? But I'm just thinking that the potential for a great toy, if they were to come out with a Human Alliance line, is there, alright? So, there you have it. Now, one thing I gotta say, now that's all I gotta say about the toys, but one thing I gotta say about the toys that relates to the story is that, could Galvatron be a triple changer? I mean, we've seen him in the robot mode. We've seen him in the vehicle mode, which is a Freightliner Argosy. But that mysterious circle chest is still there, and I keep on thinking that it could be the exhaust for a Cybertronian jet. So, and a Cybertronian jet doesn't necessarily have to be the size of, you know, like a F-18 or the size of a Raptor or something like that. All right. So, you know, Cybertronian jet is a fictional aerial vehicle. It could be any size, and if they're not going to have mass shifting, well, they can actually mold the size of a Cybertronian jet out of a Freightliner Argosy. So that's just a theory. That's just a theory that Galvatron could be a Cybertronian jet, and they didn't make his triple changer form in the form of a Voyager class toy. All right, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. All right, now another thing that I gotta say about Galvatron is that maybe Galvatron is not a reincarnation of Megatron. Just maybe. It's just a theory, okay? And he's possibly like a relative of Megatron, like a descendant of Megatron, but not actually built from Megatron. Maybe he's just a standalone character that's not actually built from Megatron by Unicron. Maybe there is no Unicron. Maybe Galvatron is really just a standalone Decepticon, like an ancient Decepticon that has no relation with Megatron. What do you guys think about that? All right? So let me just give you the rundown of which toys I will and will not buy, okay? Optimus Prime as a Marmon, the Voyager class? Hell no. Optimus Prime Leader class, the new version, the Knight version of Optimus Prime? Yes. Leader class Grimlock? Yes. Deluxe Crosshairs? Yes. Voyager Hound? Yes. Voyager Galvatron? No. Deluxe Bumblebee, you know, the 1967 Bumblebee? No. Okay. Deluxe Drift? Maybe. And as for the Dinobots, I'm gonna wait till I watch the movie. And if I do like them in the movie, I'm either gonna buy all of them or none of them. Okay? So there you have it. Those are my picks for the Transformers Age of Extinction toys. And another thing is that I'm also going to wait to see what the Takara ones look like. Now, if you look back at the previous films, there wasn't that much of a difference between the Takara and the Hasbro ones. There was probably only one or two of them that have different paint jobs. But one thing that I did like about the Takara ones is that their Optimus Prime was always better. Their Leader Class Optimus Prime was always better than the Hasbro one, just because they had some sort of exclusives. Alright, now I just gotta give birthday shoutouts, okay? Birthday shoutouts to Cameron Klassen, Jacob Curtis, Hans Koenig, Abe Productions, Jack to the Max, Eric Undercover, Cameron Klassen. I already said that. And maybe because I said that twice, because he asked me so many times to give him a birthday shoutout. And finally, Charvis Mallory. And there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this video. There are your birthday shoutouts, and there are my final thoughts and feelings about the Transformers Age of Extinction toys. And you can see that Michael Bay is going on with a whole new direction, and Hasbro is also going on in a whole new direction with these toys. And there you have it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation, and also Instagram. Follow my Instagram at The Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on episode 102. Peace. Maybe and then it turns out that if maybe he can read the scriptures, I don't know, but he finds out that the sword needs to be with